Hello, friends. Well, as far as I can see, something amazing is emerging. Not that I haven't seen it yet, but I want to share this with you. I just finished listening to the telepathy tapes. Have you listened to those yet? They're mind blowing, literally. They're so beautiful. And they will probably confirm to you, as it did for me, that what we're doing here, at least on this channel and many other places, of course, to really start listening deeply within and learn how to listen to your deeper wisdom, to your soul connection, to your intuition, to your heart. It's very real. And on the telepathy tapes, when you listen to them, I cannot recommend them highly enough. So beautiful. It's like you cannot stop listening. You want to kind of binge listen, as one of my friends said. I said, have you listened to those? I've been binge listening. It's so great because it really shows that there are a lot of younger people who are living this, but they have not been able to bring it out yet. These children are autistic and they are so wise. They are so deeply connected to the divine, to the field, as I speak about it here from Rumi. It's just natural for them. And they are non speakers. They call us voice users. I mean, you gotta love it, right? You gotta love it. And when I heard that, I thought, oh my God, I just did this, wrote this poem. This is a while ago called I Long to Live in a World Where Words Are Used No More. Because it's been just brewing in me, this talking. And of course, I'm doing it here. But a lot of the talking that is going on in the world is just like words, salads, noise, sound. A lot of it is, it's not really useful. It's not helping us ground in what is true. And instead, it keeps us engaged in what is not true, which is the matrix, the world that we see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. So as long as we just keep going on, how we don't like it and this is terrible and what this person said and what da 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 da, it's all energy going into a world that we do not want. For many, many, many years, at least 2,000 years ago, people who have been bringing forth the truth have not been wanted. They have been taken out. And I think many of us here as light workers, we have been taken out in previous lifetimes. So we do understand that. But it's still happening. When somebody speaks truth, whether it's the deeper truth from within, whether it's the owning your I am presence, owning that you actually are a divine being, or if it's speaking truth about what people are realizing has been happening in the world that has been hidden. So when somebody speaks that, they will be silenced in whatever way they're being silenced. There's many ways. So that's why this has not been welcomed yet. But there is a reason that these telepathy tapes are coming out and becoming public now. And I didn't see that connection right away, but when I saw, I usually kind of see more things from a bigger picture. So here I'm seeing the old world falling apart, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, because it has to. The way it has been working isn't working, right? It's been built on lies and greed and corruption and hidden things. It's simply literally a world of illusion. on top of the five sense illusion, there's a lot of illusion and lies and things that are not true or real that are being happening at the same time. So this is coming up to the surface now, and it's being seen. Some people do not like to see it. Some people don't believe it. Some people love what they're seeing because this has been going on for so long, and now it's becoming more public. So again, there's all these different flavors and shades of the truth as it's presenting itself. And the way that we are perceiving it is, of course, through our own filters, depending on what kind of a world view we have taken in and being programmed to believe. It's all a program. And as those programs are now crackling, many people are like, what do we do now, right? And that's where a lot of my videos have been, okay, let's go here, because this is the only thing that is true. And we need to learn to listen to it. We need to learn to trust it, to feel it. So it's not a mind thing. It's like a new language that we all need to learn, and let that guide our lives. So, okay, so here's the world as we know it. Okay, it's not the world. The world's going to be fine. There might be a lot of things crackling and falling apart, but the energy of the world is fine. The truth of the world, or the prime earth, as some people call it. So it's that layer of illusion that is crumbling now. And that's what most people are very, very scared about, because when that's gone, like, now what? And the now what is what we need to start finding in here and letting out. Okay, crumbling. And then here is all this new information. It's not new, but it is new as it's coming into public awareness. And that is that there is a huge group of people, autistic children, who have been bringing in this truth, and they have not been allowed to speak it. They have not been able to speak it because they're non-speakers. So, but that doesn't mean that the truth and the wisdom and the divinity wasn't there. They just could not formulate it into words. And that's why they were just seen as these, stupid, non-intelligent, whatever they've been called. But it's coming out. I think these tapes that I'm talking about are exploding. They're going viral. And that's why I feel happy to share them with you if you haven't listened to them yet. This is coming up, this is coming out, and this is falling apart. Now, is that perfect or what? And it makes me remember when many years ago I heard Joe Goldsmith, as some of you know, was my foundation of spirituality. That's when I had my first Big Bang awakening back in the 80s, I think, late 80s. Joe Goldsmith, he talked about that the horse buggies, is that what it's called? Horse buggies, where the horses were pulling the carts. There was going to be a shortage of horses soon, is how he shared that. And people were panicking. What are we going to do? Not knowing that Ford, the car company, that was actually in the making. And so when suddenly that there were not enough horses anymore, there was something new coming up. And that became our new way of transportation. And that is how it is with many, many things. The video I did a little while ago about why nothing works anymore, and that's actually been my most popular video so far, which is very interesting because it tells me that people are seeing this, and somehow maybe we all need that confirmed. But because nothing is working, we can say, well, the cart and the horses, it wasn't really enough anymore. It couldn't sustain itself anymore. But then there was this new thing coming up. And yeah, as I shared on that video a few weeks ago, that, for people who are entrepreneurs, a lot of the things that used to work 10, 20 years ago, when everybody suddenly became, a coach, an entrepreneur, a teacher, a healer, because that energy started becoming very attractive to many people because they could see that they were not interested in the world that they had been living, like, let's say, the corporate world. They were getting so tired of it and it was not filling them up with joy or anything. So they started listening, and then they found new ways of being. And then suddenly it seems like there's so many people who are offering their entrepreneurship for healing. And so in the beginning, the marketing techniques works, and there were this and that, and I learned that myself in the early days. Today, it's not really working anymore. I've talked with a lot of people where they've taken all the courses where there's kind of a system to how you do it. And then, of course, the end of the funnel, as we call it, there's your clients coming from, and there's your income coming from. Well, it's not really working. And that was part of that video I shared. So a lot of people can relate to that, but we don't know yet, well, how am I going to pay my bills? How is it going to work? And that's because we are still looking for the solution in what is not working anymore. The more we can see that, and this is not an easy shift. It took me actually years to really like, what is here? So I've been tuning into that for a long time to make myself available for the new, because I'm done with this stuff. That is like so unattractive to me and so uninterested. I just cannot give my energy to something that doesn't fill my soul, that just would fill a place of fear of survival. It's like, I don't want to give my life force to that. And seeing it crumble, it makes total sense. Why would I feed something that's dying? It just let it come to rest, change my focus, what is coming out. So these telepathy tapes, they will definitely inspire you to keep going. Even if we're going through a phase right now where nothing is really working, right? This is not for sure, and we're not fully engaged with the new here. We are still learning. We're still practicing. We're learning to listen. We are trying out new things based on like, well, what am I supposed to do then? So we live in that space where we don't know. And I have talked quite a bit about that. It's a very, very important phase to consciously embrace. And out of that, the new is already coming. It's just a matter of us learning to listen to it and trust it and connect with it, so we can make ourselves available for that to fill us up from the inside out. And that's why the new that I see coming up, and it's not new because the whole healing movement has been going on for a long, long time. But here is a big group of people who are living it. They're just living it. It's as natural for them as it's natural for us to, touch something that is, we can feel, see, hear, taste, touch, and smell. But for them, what we're talking about that's behind the scene, that's in the invisible, it's completely natural for these people. So to hear that, and then also for me, it's like relating it to animals, because they're also totally in tune, right? We know about stories where when the owner is on their way back from work, the dogs are already sitting at the door waiting for them because they know. And people go like, how do they know that? Well, because they're in tune with the field. They have not turned away from the field like we have. So the same with these people, because they have not been really connected with their bodies. Some of these people, they don't really know they have a body, right? And that's all we are identified with. So you can see the difference living in a nest field, but they have a hard time coming into their body and connect. And for us, it's the opposite way around. So I hope there's going to be a beautiful middle ground where we can start living more connected to the field and become outlets for that. And these people, which is happening now, they're coming more into the earth, into their bodies, so they can show us the way, so they can teach us by being it, by inspiring us. So this is what's happening. And it is really, really beautiful as far as I can see. Like, this is crumbling, this is rising. So now we need to connect with this new energy as much as you can. Leave this behind. I know we can't leave it all behind because everything we do, has been connected with it. But just little by little, pull out where you can and start at least focusing on following what feels good, what feels right, what feels true, because most things here don't. So we need to honor that. And then little by little, we just step over here and make ourselves available for this new energy. So that's kind of my little sharing for today. Check out those tapes and please leave a message for me. Like, subscribe, share, whatever, with others who are in that same boat as we are and who are aware of what's going on. But we don't really know what to do that yet. And the more of us at least connect at that level, then things are going to be more solid. It's like we can bring more of that energy and not doubting it, but start trusting it. And then we become more of that. Okay. Thank you so much. I really look forward to hearing from you how this is for you. Are you aware of all of this? And how do you manage it? How do you balance it? That could be another great conversation between us, right? Just to really hear each other. And maybe I will start another group online where we can talk about these things, where we can really share what we're sensing is coming through and can we trust it. So there's a lot brewing, and I think this is a very important next step, at least for me. Have a wonderful day.